think we did some good things. I think what you've seen is the things that guys have worked on throughout the week and throughout camp, all right, to put them in a position to have some success. Obviously, there's a lot to get better at, and from week 1 to week 2, that's what you expect to happen. But, they did good stuff, and we got to build on it.
Kane talked on Monday about guys who had to trust them to be over a certain line to play a lot of reps on Saturday. What did James Smith show throughout camp that y'all were able to trust him?
Yeah, I think James has grown up a lot. I think James is taking his game to another level. He's worked hard, and he's getting what he deserves. He came in every day throughout camp, and he's continued to improve. And, that's good. We're trying to build depth in that room so several guys can go out and perform, but he's done a tremendous job.
What is a number of defensive linemen that's the perfect scenario to rotate in?
I like to get everybody ready to play, and I think we're as good as our weakest link, and those guys have worked hard. They've done what we asked to do. We just got to continue to improve. We can't kind of settle and be like that. And, the younger guys that's come in, they're pushing the older guys, and the older guys are trying to do things to a certain standard. So, we'll take and play as many as we can that's ready to play.
You guys a few batted passes on the D-line. Was there an extra emphasis put on that this year?
It's not. We have actually done that several years now. But you got to understand sometimes when you rush in 3, you're not going to always get home. And, we try to affect the quarterback. A lot of people talk about sacks and things like that. If there's a guy open running down the seam or on a wheel route and we bat the ball down, that's, that takes the air out of him. So that's just something else that we work on. We've always worked on, and we were fortunate to get our hands on some.
Yeah, and James Smith, I think he had 2 of them.
He did.
How have you seen his development?
He's done a great job. James has grown up. James is working hard, and the older guys are bringing him along, and look forward to seeing him play for years to come.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
I was going to say South Florida, obviously you were on staff last year for that game. I mean, are guys using it as motivation, kind of how that went, or how's that inspiring?
I think it's the next opportunity we have to continue to grow. They're a good football team. They showed us that last year. They've done a tremendous job. The staff's done a tremendous job, but we've got to go out and make it about us. We've got to do what we're supposed to do to give us the opportunity to be successful.
There seems to be a conversation around relationships. When we talk to players, deep relationships that this team has been able to create, not just with their teammates, but the coaches. Has that been a point of emphasis throughout this offseason?
I think that's part of coaching. That's kind of the unwritten rule. And when you coach players and you demand them to do things a certain way, you had to have a relationship with them. And that's what I've always tried to do. And, it's not, and I tell guys all the time, this is not a 4-year relationship. This is a lifetime commitment for me. It's got to be a lifetime commitment for them. And, they've got to respect you and they got to appreciate you, and you got to show them you have their back in all circumstances. And I think that's part of coaching.
Hey, Coach, having a monumental figure like Nick Saban being honored this weekend at the stadium with the stadium name change, and you previously been under him. I know you spent some time with him, been around him a little bit. Can you just speak on that, what that means for you from a coaching standpoint, just as a former player, just as somebody that's worn those Alabama colors and stuff like that?
Yeah, Coach Saban gave me my first opportunity. I'm always grateful for that, and I've learned a lot from him. I kind of started with him, went away, came back, went away again, and came back. So he's always treated me like his own. I didn't have the opportunity to play for him, but very, very grateful for him, and he deserves everything that's going to happen Saturday. Tremendous coach, even a better man, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to be a part of that.
The 0 on the scoreboard, of course, is the ultimate. There were some long drives in there, and you go back and look at that. Were there any?
Yeah, there were some missed opportunities. We got to get out the field on 3rd down. We got to we got to make it a point to affect the quarterback. Maybe bat some balls down to help the guys out in the back end. But that's part of growing up. Some opportunities that we got to do. But it was tremendous that we held them and they missed the field goal. And I think the effort by Tim Keenan on the 4th down, I think it was really, really good. So, just building on that and, what could we have done to prevent that from happening, which is, that's part of football. But, it's hard to hold anybody to 0, whether you're playing a PlayStation game or in the backyard. Like that's tough to do. So hats off to our guys. But, again, we got to prepare this week. We got a good team coming in, and we got to go see what we can do.
And also, Coach, what challenges does a dual threat quarterback like you and just Byron Brown present to your position group and just the Alabama defense overall? With him just, just being able to be mobile. I know last week's quarterback, TJ Finley, was also mobile, but just him having just a little bit more rounding and stuff like that. What challenges does that present?
Yeah, he's a tremendous athlete. Obviously, he throws the ball really well, and he can run the ball really well. He creates plays when things broken down. He's got the ability to create something, and it's a challenge for all of us, everyone on defense, not just my group. So, again, we got to do our job, be where we're supposed to be, and play as 11. We can't be individual contractors, and that's part of it. When you're playing a guy like him, it takes a team to slow him down.
You talked about Tim Keenan earlier. What is his role in your position group kind of as a leader and on the field?
He's a tremendous guy. I mean, comes in every day, works his butt off, and had a great season last year. He started off the right foot now. Helps the young guys out too. I think that's the big part, kind of letting them understand what the standard is, what is accepted and what's not. I'd take 10 of them. The kid's unbelievable, and again, it's day in and day out. He's consistent in what he does. You're going to get when you walk in the building, and you appreciate that as a coach.
As one of the only coaches on the staff, you and Coach Gillespie just saw USF last year. Is there anything that you've been emphasizing?
No, I just think you always got to respect your opponent, regardless of who it is. And they're a good ball club. They may not be in our conference, but they have scholarship players just like we do, and they want to go out and win as well. So we've got to do our job and do a good job of it, and come out ready to play.
We mentioned that takes a team.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see some of that, or a lot of that? The teamwork was good.
Yeah, I think we're building. Everything's a process, and we're trying to take one step at a time. And the guys have done a good job of that. And it's week in and week out. This is college football, so everyone's got really good players. So we're trying to continue to gel, and be better, and just grow as a team.
What's your philosophy been with the rotations on the defensive line, and how do you feel about how that went down on Saturday?
We're trying to get everybody ready to play. I mean, I don't think you say he's going to play. I mean, everybody in that room needs to be able to come play really good football for us. I tell those guys the twos need to be like the ones, and the threes need to be like the twos. And, if we can improve daily on every guy that's in that room, we'll have a chance to be a pretty good unit.
From what you saw, did you feel like the threes played like twos and the twos played like
I think they did some good things. Obviously, there's always things that you can correct and do, but, those guys are working towards one common goal, and that's be the best they can be.
Coach Warner mentioned kind of capitalizing a little bit more on things like turnovers and just defensive positions and stuff. How do you kind of preach that to you this week? Is that more of an emphasis?
I think you do talk about it, and he makes a good point. Like, we have to create takeaways, give the ball back to our offense, and I think when you're swarming to the ball and you're aggressive, good things happen. I tell guys all the time, you run to the ball and play with a great effort, you create takeaways, and you create your own luck, and that's what we're trying to emphasize, and that's what we're planning on doing.
Last two questions for Coach.
James Smith, what did you see from him on Saturday?
James has done well, man. I'm proud of James. I told him today, I said, you make me smile. He's done a really good job. He's worked his butt off. He's changed his body. I'm just looking forward to seeing him develop even more. Everything's a process, and day in and day out, we're going to work towards that.
What do you like from that band room? I know we've talked a good bit about LT and Jermaine Latham as well, just how they kind of pushed each other.
Yeah, those are two good ones now. Those guys they've done a really good job. They feed off each other. Jordan Renard's also in that group. He's done a really good job, and Keon Keeley. So we got four guys in that position that can push each other and make each other better. So, again, it's just day in and day out, and that's what it's about. It's no secret. We're not drinking certain Kool-Aid or water. It's just we got to work. The work is the work. That's the big thing.
Coach, I'm doing a story on Nick Saban's best games and Bryant Denny, and one of them is the 2020 Georgia game. Just do you have a memory from that? What do you remember about that game?
That was a really good game. I think what I do remember was there was a wheel route to our sideline, and the guy was wide open, and Christian Barmore batted the ball down, which was a huge turn of events. But again, just that play in particular was a good one for us. But they've all been great. Everything he's done has been great. I don't think anybody can argue that.
Following that one, we got to see him kind of like share a moment with y'all and dance in the locker room. How he's had so much success, and like how fun is it to kind of like look back at those moments where you got to see him, outside of maybe a coaching realm, and just really kind of share those kind of moments.
Yeah, and I think that, he's always said it's about the players. And they worked their butt off that game. And every win is hard to come by. I know expectations are you win every game. I understand that. But, you know, when you see a group of guys work their butts off throughout the week and have success on Saturday, you know, that's what coaching's about. And I think he enjoyed that. He's seen that. And for him to celebrate with them, it was different for me to see for sure.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.